Hello everyone and welcome to card number 10 of my holiday card making series. So for today's card I am using the Santa image from the Paper Smooches Santa Paws stamp set, and I'm inking it up with Brilliance Graphite black ink and stamping it onto a die cut circle of CC Designs Copic quality cardstock. And I chose the Brilliance ink because it gives a really deep black detail, and like the band in his feet, no parts will be missed. It's just solid black, like it's perfect. So I heat set it with my embossing tool to set the ink, otherwise it'll smear. And then I'm coloring the image with Copic markers, and my original plan was just to do kind of just lines of color like you can see as I'm doing here. I wasn't planning on fully coloring everything in. I had kind of an idea in mind, and so I was trying to go with it. So for the skin I used EO1, for the beard and white areas I was using my BG quadruple 0, and then for the red of his jacket and his hat I was using R27, and then G07 for his pants, no G05, sorry. And then I did not like how that looked, so then I just went in and colored each area, just fully colored it. No blending, no shading, anything, just one marker for each color. Super simple. And yeah, I like that way better. I don't know what I was thinking, trying to just do a line. My OCD got the best of me there. So once the image is colored, I'm adhering it to a scallop circle. Again, I die cut that with the scallop circle Nestabilities die from green cardstock. And then the pattern paper I chose to use is this Santa's Workshop pattern paper collection by Doodlebug. I started with like a large graphic pattern, and then a more solid pattern, which was the green, and then a finer detailed pattern. So that's an easier way to kind of mix up pattern papers, and obviously if they're from the same collection, everything goes together better. And then for the sentiment, I am using my Big Christmas Wishes stamp set. I stamped the Ho 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 with Memento Tuxedo black ink, and then used my Stampin' Up embossing buddy to add some powder to that so that nothing sticks. And then stamped the Merry Christmas with pigment ink and embossed it with detail white embossing powder. And then I just used a Kleenex to wipe off the excess powder from the piece of cardstock. And then kind of fiddling around with the layout. I had a layout in mind, I wasn't sure though how I wanted things to go. But once I decided on what I wanted to do, I adhered everything with my ATG adhesive. Got it all laid out, and then I wanted to add some ribbons, so I came across this is apple green Grosgrain from my stash. This was from Stampin' Up like years and years ago, like 7 years ago, something, forever ago anyway. So obviously it's discontinued, but it was just kind of the right color for this card. So I used that. And then for the main image, I'm using these large dimensionals that I always buy from Jody Morrow's store. And I just cut 2 of them in half. And then adhered him into place so it was all nicely popped up. And then for the final embellishments, I'm just using these pink self-adhesive rhinestones. I'm pretty sure I got that pack at Michael's for like in the dollar bins. Well, up here in Canada it's $1.50. So I added several of those since they were dirt cheap. Usually I only add 3 of something like that. This time I decided to add a ton. So then I adhere that to the white card base, and then of course I had to bling up the white areas with diamond stickles, and as always just dabbing it really lightly on so that it dries quickly. So once that's done, I'm going on to the inside of the card. So I chose a different graphic pattern from the Doodlebug Santa's Workshop collection, and then the same green that I used on the front. And then I chose another sentiment. This one is from my handy Christmas greetings set, and just another scrap of red cardstock. Ink that up with the white pigment ink and stamp that into place, and then again embossing it with the detail white embossing powder. And you can see I always use coffee filters for embossing powders. It's just easier to filter and funnel them back into the container that way. So then I'd adhere the 2 pattern papers together, and then I was planning on trimming the red cardstock down just to fit the sentiment, and then ended up changing my mind and leaving it as is, because once I trimmed down that last little pattern paper, it just worked perfectly to finish off the inside of the card. And that green paper, the person giving the card will be able to write their sentiment just over it, so it'll just be Perfect. So that finishes off the card and the video. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!